Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, guys, and this is TransurfingTV. And today on TransurfingTV, cleaning your layer of reality, because this is like really practical transurfing stuff. I know a lot of people that have read Reality Transurfing Steps 1 through 5 and the other works of Vadim Zeland. There have been some opinions that a lot of it isn't practical. Well, the 78 days of practical transurfing offered us this idea, cleaning your layer of reality. And from my layer of reality, my opinion, my experience, this is like probably the most practical transurfing advice that there is, simply because this is something that anyone can do in any circumstance starting today and help to like lay a new sort of foundation, create an optimal environment for you to operate at your maximum level of efficiency and effectiveness. This is kind of what it's about with transurfing, is, releasing yourself from the shit that's holding you back so you can ascend to some of those higher levels of reality. And this even pertains to stuff, right? This even pertains to clutter, not being organized, a stack of bills on your desk that you haven't gotten to, or anything that has to do with like your online health. I'm a big advocate for people to like unsubscribe from crap, unsubscribe from mailing lists, get rid of all those little payments that you don't like for things you don't use, like apps and, Netflix things and all these. I mean, they accumulate over time. And before you know it, you're like not only inundated with the stuff itself, but even just for me, like when I see that Apple thing, your account's just been charged $2 for this app that you never use. There's a thought in my head like, damn, why don't I get to that thing? Why don't I cancel that? It's been a year and I haven't looked at that app in a year, and it's now cost me $24. Okay, so just in this one little tiny example, you think that $2 doesn't really make a hill of beans, but then when you start on that sort of thought process about that $2 and what has happened with that subscription over the past year or whatever, like this does bring your energy and your frequency down a little bit. This is a pendulum. Your thoughts are being captivated by something that you're actually deeming meaningless. And if you get enough of these, you're bombarded, you're inundated with stuff you don't need that is bringing your thought quality down a notch and your frequency down a notch and taking precious energy away from you creating your own reality. It's kind of as simple as that. We do this in huge ways, we do this in little ways, but at the end of the day, it all accumulates. And cleaning your layer of reality is like a really awesome, practical sort of daily meditation, if you will, for maintaining focus and awareness and attention in your reality of what is serving you and what isn't serving you. And when you have deemed something to not be serving you anymore, there is so much empowerment that happens as a result of you taking the bull by the horns and dealing with the thing, so you can start clearing away some of that clutter and like create a layer of reality that's a platform for you to jump off of into some higher layers of reality. It's kind of how it is for me. So I'm going to go through the different sort of categories as they stand for me and what I pay attention to, and how you can start the process today if you're in a position to start cleaning the layer of your world. I know that I have talked about this a number of times, and I've had a number of requests to do this video because some people are challenged by this. And it's one of those things where it's like, once you get going, I wasn't always like this, right? I wasn't always super organized, having my life really compartmentalized in a way that it's just like a well-oiled machine. It took a little practice to get here, but it's kind of like going to the gym. When you first start going to the gym, you don't really see results, so it's hard to go. But then like as you start to see results, you're like, damn, this is working. I'm going to keep doing more of this. Well, this has been my experience with this sort of technique, is it's like once you see how beneficial this is to your reality creation process, you want to do more. You want to organize more. You want to throw more stuff away, clothes you don't wear anymore, keeping your financial, stuff all organized and, in a way where it's not taking any more than it needs to from you or from your thinking. So I'm going to break it down for you. Before I do, remember to like this video, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Join us on the Facebook group, the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram, reality_transurfing. Course links down below. Check out our shirts, cool stuff like this. All kinds of neat things. I don't know if this is going to air before Christmas, probably not, but get yourself something nice. I love these shirts. It's pretty much all I wear now. And any links down below, website, any more information on transurfing, check it out. Everything is down below. Okay, so I sort of separated these different items into categories, how I go about organizing my layer of reality. And one thing that I want to state is, first of all, doing something like this is the best way, without a doubt, hands down, to reverse out of an induced transition. So whenever I start to feel as though I'm beginning to induce and my frequency goes a little low and I maybe start to become a little depressed, maybe I'm not feeling as motivated to do the things that I love doing on a daily basis. Maybe I'm like, oh man, I just want to lay on the couch and watch Netflix and eat junk food and blah, blah, blah. So as soon as I sense that I'm going into that mode, I know it's time to switch into this mode, and it helps pull me right out of it. But it not only helps pull me right out of it, it helps pull me out of it, and then I kind of use it as a springboard to really elevate to some higher levels of reality. Because not only am I taking action to pull myself away, I'm taking action that is going to help me connect with an even higher layer of reality. So it's kind of like a power punch for me. If I'm starting to induce, I can really get myself to the wave of success pretty quickly by addressing all of this stuff. We give this as one of the 30 anomalous action challenge ideas in the new course coming up. And I've always been, I've always suggested that this is a great way to start a 30 anomalous action challenge, because again, it's you moving in another direction. Once you start clearing stuff out, this makes way for like higher and better thinking. Then maybe you have like a really neat workspace and you have some idea to start a new project. It can just get everything like flowing in a new direction really, really, really quickly. If you let it and you jump into it, it's extremely powerful. So first, and you can go in any direction. You could start with the big stuff. You could start with the little stuff. You could start with the household stuff. You could start with projects or elimination of projects. There's no real method, personally, I like to start with the big stuff, especially if I'm starting to feel myself induce. I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Am I having any negative interactions with people? Am I participating in any negative thinking? And then I go about trying to pinpoint that thinking, why it's popping up, what I can replace those thoughts with, how I can catch myself, I see my reality, and really start to like address it, address it. And then big stuff and more big stuff, environmental things, I'll get into that in a moment, direction, career stuff, habits, all of these big, huge topics I like to look at first. So last, it was the summertime, so it wasn't last year, it was about 6 months ago, I really started to feel as though I kept going like back and forth into an almost induced transition when I would think about what I was missing out on in my environment that I really wanted to have in my life. I was living in a part of California where there was very little access to the outdoors, and I was challenged to feel connected with nature. So a lot of times when it comes to big things like environment, we just kind of think that, well, this is the way that it is, right? This is what I've got. This is my life. But if you're really looking at cleaning your layer of reality and getting yourself to a place where you feel you're in the ideal reality for you, don't exclude anything, no matter how big. So for me personally, when I kept kind of going down, and I'd get myself back up, but it would take energy, and then I would feel myself going down again. And I had a talk with myself one day. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Why are you continuing to, encounter this roller coaster of higher levels of reality, but you keep dipping down to some that aren't necessarily ideal? And I had to be honest with myself. My environment needs to change. And I know this is a huge one, and I'm sure the one that really wanted me to do this video, you're talking more about the clutter, and I will absolutely get to that. But it's kind of like when you have some really big stuff that needs to be addressed, it doesn't matter how organized you make your layer of reality if you're not in the right version of reality for you to begin with, right? So I had my house all organized, and my finances all organized, and my online world all organized, and I had nice little systems for everything. But I still felt that there was a nagging feeling for me to clean my layer of reality in a bigger way. And that's when I just called it. I need to move. I need to move. This place is no longer serving me or my intentions. And just as much as decluttering a garage or a closet that needs to be cleared out, I need to clean my layer of reality of this place, right? Of this place. This place needs to go. Same with people. This last year, I got rid of a bunch of relationships, big ones, toxic ones where I was, starting to really feel that I was operating at my highest and best. And then somebody would call me and I would feel myself go down. So finally, after a while, I'm just like, man, I can see it. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. They've gotta go. Habits. Beginning of last year, I decided that I wasn't gonna drink any alcohol for the entire year. Career stuff. I actually got rid of one of my little side gigs that I was doing simply because I wasn't really participating with it anymore, yet I was paying the overhead to keep it running just in case I wanted to jump back in. And finally, I just had to call it and be like, dude, you're not doing that anymore. Get rid of those payments, because that's sort of like one thing that just keeps coming up. Whenever you see one of those monthly payments come through, getting billed for part of your platform, you think to yourself, oh God, am I going to do this thing or not? And it takes mental energy to maintain something that you're not even doing, right? So this last year was a huge year for me clearing out the big stuff. So then getting to household. Well, when I moved, I decided I was going to get rid of like, I don't know, probably almost 75% of my stuff. I sold cars, I sold furniture, I got rid of all kinds of clothes. I mean, I think I got rid of 2/3 of my closet. I got rid of almost an entire garage filled with stuff, and it felt so good. We actually hired a company to bring a dumpster, and we filled it up like 4 times, and it was really cathartic just to get rid of a bunch of crap that I had no intention of using. All the clothes that I got rid of, I was never gonna wear again. But there was like some sentimental things, and oh, I got this then, and oh, well, maybe I'll fit into it at a certain point. Nah, it needs to go. And that's another thing for women. Anything that you are holding on to that you're like, well, as soon as I lose this weight and then I wanna fit back into my skinny jeans or whatever, do it now or get rid of them and accept yourself the way that you are, because I know some of those skinny jeans really like would play games with my mind. And finally, I'm just like, dude, I'm 25 pounds heavier than I was before. I know that probably sounds a little bit shocking, but I'm 25 pounds heavier and I love my body and I have absolutely no desire to fit in those skinny jeans anymore. So anything that has to do with getting rid of anything that you no longer use. Downsizing, right? Downsizing little things like your stuff, getting rid of an old car that doesn't start that's in your driveway. Downsizing your home. When I was in the real estate industry, this was a huge one for older people, and I definitely understand it now. Life is so much more pleasurable when you have less to take care of and you have less stuff. And I have seen a number of people just like do exactly what I'm talking about, get rid of 75% of their stuff, sell their house, and go down to like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and, you know, kind of go minimalist. Anything that doesn't evoke joy. I can't remember her name, but there's that Japanese gal that is really big into that, right? That everything in the house has to give off a vibe, a frequency of joy and happiness. And if it doesn't, especially if it's like something that needs to go, that you've been intending to get rid of, but then you don't, this is like a double whammy. It's something that you no longer need, it's no longer serving you, but at the same time, it's taking up mental energy because you keep reminding yourself that you've got to get rid of it. This might be the time to just take the initiative and start getting rid of shit, right? Anything that needs maintenance that you're like, that you're over. Part of the reason that I wanted to sell my house in California was because it had like really extravagant landscaping and I just got tired of taking care of it. I'm like, damn, I just want a place that's like a lot more organic. I don't have to do much and it doesn't need any maintenance. And oh my God, this has been huge for my mindset, like not having to worry about maintaining a yard anymore. I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. Pendulums. Any sort of pendulum in your reality, in your household that you are over. Maybe it's your TV. Maybe it's something that, you know, you are ready to cycle out of. I know that for years, I used to have NPR on all the time in the morning, especially for hours. And at a certain point, I just stopped and I was like, I don't even enjoy hearing this anymore. Why do I have this on? It was just purely a habit. So anything in your reality that you're not resonating with, and the trick here is to like tune into your environment and take a look around and actually feel how the different attributes and components of your layer of reality make you feel. Do I like this? Do I not like this? Am I ready to cycle out of this? Is this something that brings me joy? Do I enjoy listening to this every morning or having the TV on in the evening? Is that something I really enjoy, or is it time to cycle out and like create an environment, a household environment that supports your frequency and a higher and better mindset for yourself. Projects. Vadim talked about this in the 78 Days of Practical Transurfing. It's huge. Anything not calling you, any back burner items, any past hobbies, anything that you're dreading, right? So my grandmother, she was really big into crafts, and she would collect ceramics that she would want to paint and things that she wanted to do, all kinds of like little arts and crafts stuff. And, you know, now she has this massive room, sunroom, that's filled with all these projects that she's never going to really get into. And she has realized the value in letting go of some of this stuff. But like these projects accumulating, especially if they're projects of your past self, there's a reason you didn't get to them if you have these floating around in your layer of reality. And if you are looking to evolve, you're probably going to get even further from the intention of actually doing the thing. So as Vadim says, do it or get rid of it, right? Do it or get rid of it. And then finally, online stuff. I have a big, massive online world. I have multiple businesses that are online based. You know, all sorts of systems and things that I've created to help me in being effective in my different endeavors online. And the last thing I need is like a bunch of subscriptions to email lists that annoy me, right? I keep my inbox, my email inboxes super clean. Like I don't allow, if something comes in and I don't recognize it or want it, unsubscribe. It's the same with my social media. I don't follow anyone. I don't follow anyone on Instagram. I don't follow or friend anyone on Facebook. I don't have any feeds like feeding me anything. If I want to know something, if I want to see pictures of someone, I go to them, right? I never let my digital reality give me anything. This is a way in which I keep my layer of reality clean that has served me like tenfold, because not only do I feel as though in this present moment I have the headspace, when I go online, I don't get my attention distracted by something that isn't going to serve me. The amount of time for my future that I am saving myself from being distracted, that I can funnel into projects and endeavors online that actually serve me, I can't even begin to imagine what this equates to, right? So any lists, any subscriptions, any feeds, any toxic information that's coming in your direction, all business matters, right? Like keeping, for me, I like to keep each business separate. I have bank accounts for each. I have credit cards for each. Everything is, online statements. I don't get anything paper coming to me anymore. And I just keep everything like super organized and clean. That way, when I sit down at my computer, I'm never bombarded by anything that I don't want to see, right? It is always about what it is I'm going to do in that moment. And my God, this has set me up for like the attention span that I can hold now and what I can do with my time without any additional distractions coming into me in form of emails I don't need, things I don't need to see, news feeds, all that stuff, huge. So it's not only limited to this stuff, right? These are the things that I pay attention to personally, but your things might be a little bit different. Maybe make one of these of your own. Big stuff that needs to go, projects that needs to go, online organization that needs to happen, and cleaning your household, right? And getting your household organized. This is a great way to kick off a new year. It's a great way to start a 30 Anomalous Action Challenge. It's a great way to come out of an induced transition. So I hope you can step into 2022. Holy shit, we're in the future, y'all. With a cleaner layer of reality, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one, guys. Bye.